Hey guys, my name is Justin Garner, and I've been a member of the Church of God of Prophecy now for about 5 years. And just to kind of give you a little story, my story is kind of a roller coaster with Jesus story. So I have been involved in church all my life. So since I was a little kid in Georgia, I have. Um, been attending down there would be a Southern Baptist church. That's where I started, right down from where I grew up, and I attended that church until um, my teenage years. I was saved when I was 12 years old, and um, I, I was on a good path. And then I turned 18. When I turned 18, I got a little crazy and um, kind of put Jesus in the back seat and made some mistakes. Um, a lot of mistakes, during that time. Did a lot of things for the wrong reasons. Didn't really pray before big decisions, and I learned a lot. I call that my learning years. So I very, very much learned a lot. Um, but, even though I kind of put Jesus in the back seat, I always knew that he was there. Which where some of maybe my guilt is, because I knew he was there, but yet I didn't talk to him very much. So I went through, I would say, probably a 10-year period from when I was um, about 18, 19 years old. I went through a 10-year period where I kind of lost my connection with Jesus. And what I ended up, I knew that I needed to rekindle that relationship. So I started looking. I attended some churches, by myself. I was single, but I just never really felt home at any particular church. I always considered myself spiritual, um, but never connected with a church body. And then I met my wife, Kina. Some of you may know her from the region, um, but when I met her, I instantly knew that there was a connection, not just a emotional spark, not just like a physical connection between her and I, but I knew that there was something more, something deeper. And when we were just friends, she asked me to come to church, and I didn't hesitate. So my first visit to church, to the Tillman Road church, was back in 2012. I think I made a couple visits back then, and then I moved away to Georgia. Um, Again, moved back to Georgia again for several years, and then we eventually got married and came back to Maryland. We were just visiting, and we felt that God had asked us to stay. And when we came to visit, we literally visited family, friends, church, and we packed up our car, and we were sitting in Pastor Gary, the pastor at the time. We were sitting in his driveway, and we felt like we shouldn't even leave. Like we needed to stay, not just homesick, but we needed to stay. And so we prayed. We just sat there and just prayed. And we felt that God said, yes, you need to stay. So Keena, my 3-month-old son at the time, Lincoln, stayed in Salisbury. And I drove 17 hours. We were living in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I drove 17 hours straight. One way, I think I stopped twice for gas. And I just drove straight. Packed up our house. We had the house down there, packed it all up. And within a week's time, we were renting, and it was a month-to-month agreement. In a week's time, I had the house packed up and moved back to Salisbury. And honestly, God has blessed us tremendously ever since. And I think He's blessed us because we've been faithful. There definitely were times where financing, was difficult to know where, if rent was going to be paid. So I'm not going to lie that everything was hunky-dory the entire ride. But we stayed faithful, and we knew that He was not going to just let us, starve to death, die. We knew that, and we just kept the faith. And I can tell you now, he continues to bless us in so many ways. And honestly, with Keena being our, youth leader, I mean, yeah, she's blessing them, but my goodness, I think that's our biggest blessing right there. So, my thing is keep the faith. Maybe you stray away for a while, but know that He's always with you, no matter what. He's always going to be there, even if you're not mindful about it, even if you don't think so. He's there. He's there with you. He's going to be there. And He's going to be there waiting for you to get your act together and come back to Him. And He'll accept you in open arms like He did me. Soon as I recommitted my life to living for God, it's like I never left. And it has been awesome ever since. So that's my story. I hope it helps. And hope God blesses you the way He's blessed me. Take care.